Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 5th episode of our gaming news podcast, the PackCast. Our hosts, as always, are Cool Trainer Camillo, the Janebo, Dan from the Tea Lounge, and myself, Phil Fantastic. And together, we are the Game Pack. Today's topics, we're basically just going to talk about the Pokemon Direct from June 5th and the Google Stadia Connect from June 6th. Guys, don't you think it's a little bit weird that, like, PlayStation and Google just have blatantly ripped off the Nintendo Direct thing? Or is that just me?
It could be a shift in like where everything is going, to be honest, I think.
Yeah, I think everything is going
just
digital.
The leader.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think that format's very like palatable and
yeah, for sure. It's a good way to deliver news fast in a succinct format. All right.
And it's a way to build hype too, because like when you announce one of these like presentations, you're like, oh, it's like a mini E3 kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. True. All right. Well, let's get into the Pokemon Direct. So in the Pokemon Direct on June 5th, we got to see more of the Galar region, and the first thing they showed us, kind of right off the bat, were a couple of new Pokemon. And I just want to go through the list of all the new Pokemon that we saw, and I want to get everybody's impressions on each Pokemon. So the first Pokemon that I want to talk about is Wooloo, the sheep Pokemon. Was that what it was, Cam?
Yep.
Yeah, just the sheep Pokemon.
Wooloo, the sheep Pokemon. What do you think? How many evolutions is it going to get? Why don't we start with Dan?
Oh.
I think they're running out of ideas.
We've already had a sheep Pokemon.
Yeah, it's just going to be... The next one is just going to be Wigoo. It's going to be a tuft of hair that people wear on their head.
Wigoo! I like Wigoo.
That's
actually a really good idea for Pokemon.
Instead of a parrot walking, like riding on their shoulder, it's going to be a tuft of hair that rides on their head. Yeah. And that's going to be Wigoo.
There you go, Wigoo. That's awesome. Dude, I can't wait until the next generation of games, or until they release more Pokemon, and Wigoo is actually in the game.
And the final phase is a hat.
Dan is actually on the Game Freak team.
Yeah, these are leaks that are happening right now. I guess I'll talk about Wooloo real quick. Wooloo is cute, and I think it's just... they wanted to make a Pokemon that really represented the region, and I think since sheep are really abundant in the UK and, you know, that area of the world, I think they wanted to have like a comparable like Pokemon that was sort of like a Pokemon, or an animal in real life. So like I get it why Wooloo is sort of like the... Do you think it's gonna be like the Bidoof? Is it the?
It looks like it's the normal type, right?
Yeah, it's a normal type.
Okay. I like him. He's cute. I mean, I much prefer. What's the sheep that dreams of Mareep? Mareep is a much cooler Pokemon.
Because it's electric. It's not just
electric, and evolves into Ampharos, and Ampharos has Mega Evolution. So maybe Wooloo will evolve into something totally bad to the bone, but I doubt it. John, what do you think of Wooloo?
It's cute. Like it looks like a Pokemon that they came up with. It's just a sheep.
It is. It's a straight sheep.
It's just straight. I don't know what it could evolve into, like a ram
sheep. Yeah, maybe. Actually, that's not a bad guess. Cam, what do you think?
I love it. It's I actually completely disagree. I don't think they're running out of ideas when people say like, oh, it's a sheep Pokemon again. I don't mind that. I don't mind if we have like multiple sheep Pokemon. There are multiple
rats,
types of
multiple
animals,
birds, multiple. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, so
many types of cats in the world.
I mean, yeah, we already have a sheep, but that's an electric type. This is a normal type. I think it could evolve. It's definitely going to evolve. I think it might be a 2-stage. I don't know if it's a 3-stage though. Mm-hmm. And the abilities are awesome. Fluffy, like not a lot of Pokemon get fluffy.
Where did you get all this extra knowledge?
It's on the Pokemon Sword and Shield website. It'll tell you the type, the weight and height, and the abilities.
Oh, cool. I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, so it gets Fluffy or Runaway, and Runaway is like a ability, but Fluffy's really good. It doubles your defense.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So
Tanky boy.
I think, yeah. Oh my gosh, I'm blanking.
You know, with the 5, how many they showed? They showed like 5, right? 4 or 5.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They are more appealing than some of their older generations, like the ice cream cone. And
Yeah, I mean, I like
the
this
trash.
like group of what they showed so far. Like the designs like look like they're taking advantage of like newer hardware and stuff.
Yeah. Cool. So the next they show 3 all at once, and when I saw that, and I have a reaction video, Camilla has a reaction video on our channels. Please go check those out. We would appreciate it. When I saw those 3, they just flashed them on the screen. I was like, that happened too fast. Like I couldn't even absorb like what happened. I just saw the Pokemon that I'll bring up in a minute and got very excited. But the next Pokemon we're going to talk about is Gossifleur. And Gossifleur is like a daisy? No, dandelion.
Yeah.
It's like a dandelion. It's cute. There's plenty of flower Pokemon. It might be helpful to get that Pokemon if you don't have Grookey to get through like the first part of the game. But in general, I don't anticipate, unless it has like a really cool 3rd stage evolution. I'm trying to think of a Pokemon that's similar that has like, I guess Routes has like a really cool 3-stage evolution. So like maybe it could be like fairy grass type or something, and it becomes this like, you know, Primarina. What's the 3rd?
Primarina is the final.
Yeah. So like something really cool and elegant looking.
If it I mean, if it evolves again, it could be fairy, but we know that both the 2 are just grass. Like
yeah. So
like,
what do you think of Gossifleur? And then I guess we'll just talk about Eldegoss at the same time. Its evolution is Eldegoss. And Eldegoss is kind of like the cotton ball Pokemon or something like that?
Yeah, a cotton
I'm assuming.
Pokemon.
Well, that's a dandelion too, though, right?
It was like dandelion, yeah.
Yeah, it's like when the dandelion like goes to spread its seeds, like right before it spreads its right before the dandelion explodes and spreads its seed. It turns into that little puffy thing that you can, like, when I was a kid, I would run around and pick them out of the ground and blow on them. So that's kind of what Eldegoss is. And I think that's cool. And I think if there's a 3rd evolution that is, like, really cool and elegant with, like, maybe surrounded by, like, those, like, seeds, like, you know, kind of like in a gravitational pull sort of a way. Like, that would be super cool.
Because
I would be into that.
I felt like Gossifleur was like super elegant and it had like a really nice design, and then it like I don't. It was kind of derpy afterwards. Like it didn't.
I don't know. I like Eldegoss. I like that design. It's just.
But we've seen Pokemon
so
go
weird.
from like Caterpie, which is pretty cool, into a Metapod, which is just a sack of dirt, and then turn into a Butterfree. So
which
like,
is lame.
Which is cool. I like Butterfree, especially shiny Butterfree. So potentially we will see something go back towards like the elegance of the first form.
I'm pretty sure that's a mid-evolution, right? It looks like a mid-evolution.
I think so.
Possibly, but I won't hold my breath.
Oh, really? Do you have more thoughts, John? Or are you good?
So I think these are all early Pokemon, right? Like they're all early game, I would assume.
Actually, I would disagree and say that Dreadnought is not early game. Because
I don't think it's an end game Pokemon.
No, well, he was saying that like only the like most like seasoned trainers will be able to tame it.
I think that was just like
the lore of it.
Yeah.
Oh, really? All right. Well, I took it.
I don't think it's
literally.
like a Route 1 or 2 Pokemon, but yeah. Mid game.
Are there roots?
I think there are roots. But we're gonna get to that in a minute. So anybody else want to talk about Gossifleur and Eldegoss, or do you want to move on to Dreadnought?
If I were to guess that the dandelion looking one is going to be very very common, I guess. If it's anything like dandelions, where it just spreads out all around and sprouts up everywhere, potentially, if they're going along that lore.
It could be pretty tanky too, because I think it has Regenerator.
What's the typing?
Just grass.
Okay.
All right, let's move on to Dreadnought, which is the Pokemon. Actually, I am excited for a couple of the Pokemon. Dreadnought is one of the ones I'm most excited about.
It looks really so cool, man. I love that one.
It just looks so cool. And I don't know if you guys saw, if you follow me on Instagram, link in the description. I posted a potential shiny version for Dreadnought.
Oh, which was Bowser?
It was a Bowser.
Which was Bowser. And it looked awesome. And I was like, can't believe, like, that'd be so cool if they did that. But Dreadnought just seems so cool. I will definitely put him on my team. I hope he's good. I hope he evolves into something cool.
He's water
but the thing
rock.
about, well, that's an interesting combo. So is Tortuga,
yeah.
Do you think he's a fossil Pokemon?
No, he was walking around in the wild.
Yeah. I think Dreadnought's gonna be cool, but the only thing that stinks is that, like, you can kind of tell that that's gonna be a 2-stage Pokemon.
I thought it was a 1-stage. I thought it was gonna be a single stage.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's single.
I think it's gonna be like a Camerupt what is it? Numel and Camerupt. I feel like it'd be more like that. Do you think that potentially we saw the second stage and we didn't see the first stage? That's a question.
That's true. They could have like a smaller turtle.
Oh yeah, they've done that before. They've shown like the later stages before the earlier ones.
So possibly Dreadnought is the stage 2 of a cool turtle Pokemon you can find on your way.
It's such a good name too.
Dreadnought. I agree. Super cool. I will shiny hunt Dreadnought, even if it looks like booty garbage. Are we gonna get flagged, John?
No, it's only in the chat.
It's in the chat. Okay, word. Oh,
don't retype that, folks.
Yes, don't type booty garbage.
My life has been changed forever.
I can't believe that. Anyways, that's a story for another day. Who else wants to talk about Dreadnought? Go, Dan.
Is this going to be like you were mentioning? Seasoned veterans only will be able to tame them.
That's what they said.
So is that going to be like a system of like you have to arbitrarily build up to a new level, or you just have to be really skilled and know what you're doing? You can go right to it, kind of thing.
No, it means probably it has like a low catch rate.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dan, you haven't played these games. They make them sound more intense than they are.
No, but it's nice though when he asks those questions. There's people watching right now who probably haven't played either.
Yeah, I know nothing about the only Pokemon thing I've consumed is Detective Pikachu for this podcast. Yeah,
for this podcast. So yeah, that's the greatest.
We're broadening your horizons, man.
You're welcome. To quote Moana, you're welcome. And Cam, do you have anything else to say about Dreadnought?
I think he's super cool looking. I didn't see the ability, but I would think it's Strong Jaw. If it's not, I would be shocked.
It's like
also
metal foot or something.
He is the bite Pokemon. But
yeah.
You know who else is the bite Pokemon? Poochyena.
Isn't Tyrant the bite Pokemon too?
You're just making up names at this point.
No, I'm not.
What?
Poochyena is the bite Pokemon.
Did you just look this up?
No, but I saw it. I know this.
I thought it was the puppy Pokemon or something like that.
Is he the puppy Pokemon? I could.
Or no, that's Lillipup.
How many dog-based Pokemon are there?
In the chat, all of us will be there, and the answer to what we're talking about right now will be resolved in the future. But I'm pretty sure Poochyena.
There's no like there are multiple Pokemon. They're like, oh, the sheep Pokemon, or like they don't have to be like that's the one thing. Like we have a lot of Pokemon that are like the same like classification.
I didn't realize that, so never mind. I'm sorry.
So there could be like a Pomeranian Pokemon and a Pitbull Pokemon.
There is a Pomeranian
and a Dachshund Pokemon.
Oh, a Dachshund Pokemon? Okay. That would be perfect for this region, or a Scottish Terrier. Wait, we already have that. Yeah. We already have that.
Do they have the one with the barrel?
The what?
You know the like what kind of dog is that? Where he's the first aid dog and he's
Saint Bernard.
Saint Bernard.
That'd be cool. Okay. Who wanted to say something about Dreadnought but didn't get to? Nobody? Okay. So let's move on to Corviknight. And Corviknight is a flying Pokemon and steel type?
Steel flying.
Steel flying. He's a Raven something or other. And he looks super cool. He was the other Pokemon that I was very excited.
He's Skarmory after he's gone to a death metal concert.
Yeah, exactly.
he's emo Skarmory.
He's a way cooler Skarmory. But that attack when he went after Sock.
Because they just threw him out and I lost it. I was like, what the heck is that?
That's probably
Sock?
Crazy.
Is that a Pokemon? Sock?
Yeah. Yeah, SAWK like punch.
Oh.
He looks like a black belt in karate.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's not just a sock that goes along with a shoe.
It's not a sock. But he was a fighting type Pokemon, and fighting type Pokemon are weak to flying type Pokemon. So it was cool to see him just obliterate this fighting type Pokemon immediately after revealed. It was so cool. And then Corviknight also acts as a taxi, where you can fly back to towns or areas that you've previously been to. Very similar to Pokéride from Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, where you could call upon a Pokemon companion that was not on your team that would do traversal things for you. So I'm very, very glad to see that HMs are gone for good.
I don't think it's gonna come back as Pokéride. I think there'll be specific spots where you can fast travel, but I don't think you can ride on Pokemon is really gonna come back.
That reminds me of My Neighbor Totoro, the cat bus. Am I along the right idea here or totally off?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
In the Sand Kingdom.
Oh, yeah. It's like the taxi in Mario Odyssey.
It's like the taxi in Mario Odyssey.
Oh, the Jaxi. Okay.
Yeah.
Never mind. Gotcha. Okay.
Are we talking Dan's language now?
So you don't think ride Pokemon's going to come back?
I don't see the need for it.
Well, they even had...
It looks so cool.
Instead of having surf, they had that water.
Yeah, you have a bike. You have a bike that goes on the water. I think you're gonna have tools or I don't know, devices to ride stuff, but I don't think you're riding Pokemon anymore.
That was my favorite part of Pokemon Let's Go. Riding Arcanine around.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome. That was so much fun. Surfing on a surfboard with Pikachu and Eevee. That was fun. But I think Corviknight is great.
Let's Go.
I hope Corviknight is good because I actually want Corviknight on my team. That's how much I think that Pokemon is awesome.
It's probably going to be the Skarmory. It won't have an evolution.
Yeah, it'll be a single stage.
Maybe, I don't know, if you can train it well enough or get its stats good enough.
You better name it Poe.
Wait, I don't get the reference.
After Edgar Allan Poe. The Raven.
I was thinking Poe Dameron.
From Star Wars. What do you think about Corviknight, John?
He's cool. I do like Murkrow. That's the other crow Pokemon, right?
Yeah, this is a Raven. Yeah,
it's a Raven.
Yeah. I don't know. I hope if you see a whole bunch of them, they call it a murder or whatever. I don't know if that's crows or ravens.
I don't know. Definitely crows. I don't know about ravens. We can do some fact checking in the chat. Did you want to say anything else about Corviknight, Mr. Camillo?
I don't know. I think he's super cool.
So cool.
I think we're getting this one, but I still think we're gonna get a 3-stage regional bird because we don't have they didn't show us what the normal flying type Pokemon's gonna be. And even if we don't it doesn't have to be normal flying, but it's always a 3-stage Pokemon. What Fletchling and Pikipek.
What if it's Corviknight?
But that's a single stage.
Well, maybe it's not a single stage.
Well, how do you know that? They didn't say that.
That seems like a standalone Pokemon. That doesn't seem like it evolves from anything.
I know. I just want it to not be, though.
If it evolved from anything, it would be a little baby thing, and I don't think that would be cool.
Every Pokemon should evolve into something,
I think
no, because mostly because I'm thinking, it's Skarmory, and Skarmory is a standalone, so that's why I think that.
Yeah, I am inclined to agree with you, and I think on that note, we should move on to the legendaries. There was a legendary reveal to rival all legendary reveals. They did like sort of a CGI cutscene that was not in-game footage, where we saw Zacian and Zamazenta kind of facing off a little bit, staring each other down. Zacian is a wolf-type Pokemon that has a giant greatsword in its mouth, and Zamazenta is also a wolf-type Pokemon that looks exactly like Zacian. Too similar, I would say. I don't...
So, in the trailer they do, but if you look on the Pokemon website, their color schemes are, like, different. Like, the trailer didn't really do it justice.
Okay, I'll have to investigate that a little further. I do think that they looked a little bit too similar. Like, it would have made me happier if, like, Zacian was a little skinnier and Zamazenta was, like, a little bit thicker. Like, I just think they could have made, like...
But what if they are the same Pokemon, but they just have different... Like, one's has a shield and the other one has the sword?
No, they look different. They look
different.
But, like, not different enough. But they do look more different
but how
than
would you...
Latios and Latios.
We've seen the logos and they're both wolves. Like, you know they're both wolves. Like, you can't make them that different.
Sure you can.
And they have, like, the
Poochyena
same... like,
and Houndoom. They look totally different.
Yeah, but they have the same exact logo on the games. Like, the base structure has to be exactly the same. I don't understand.
They could have changed the logo.
Well, not even... I don't think they have to change the logo. I just think they could have just made them both be wolves, but have them look slightly different. And I'm not asking for big changes here. I'm asking for Zamazenta.
I love them both. I think they look different enough, but I like that they're like counterparts to each other.
Yeah. I guess that having a giant sword in your mouth and a giant shield on your face is like pretty evident as to who's who. So I could go either way. I just think Zamazenta should have been a little bit thicker, and Zacian should have been like a little bit more wily. And then I had a question for you guys because this came up. I saw it on Reddit. I was actually texting my brother about it. In Dragon Quest and in Dark Souls, there are creatures, there are wolves with greatswords in their mouths.
Yep.
Is this a creature from folklore that we are aware of?
It's probably based on folklore. Solgaleo was. It was based on the lion that eats the sun.
Interesting. So, yeah, it's got to be some sort of folklore that I need to further investigate. Because it's strange to me that in 3 different games, they would have wolves with big swords in their mouths.
I mean, it just kind of looks cool.
I mean, it does look cool, but, like, that's such a specific thing that, like, there's got to be something that's based on. And then I wanted to bring up, at the end of that trailer, both wolves looked up at something. And it was like a gust of wind, and they both looked up. And I have a couple of things I want to say. It's either a third legendary. It's in the way that, what's its name? Lunala, Solgaleo.
And Necrozma.
And Necrozma. It's like the Necrozma. Or it is the mythical. It could be. And then also I also thought that it was sort of Necrozma-y, and that potentially it could fuse with something, and then the sword and the shield and whatever it fused with, like, becomes one Pokemon with a sword and a shield. And I wanted to get your guys' thoughts on both of the legendaries. Cam's kind of given his thoughts on how much he loves them. And I wanted to get your guys' thoughts on your theories. So why don't we start with just what do we think about the Pokemon in general? John, let's start with you.
The one with the sword is cool. I like that one.
Yeah.
The one with the shield looks so derpy. He just has a giant shield on his face for no reason.
That's for protection.
Yeah,
it's just no reason.
They're like, all right, we
can't hold a shield.
We have this wolf, and we gotta get a shield somewhere. So let's just slap it on his face.
They could have put it on his back or something.
Yeah, I don't like how it looks. It looks weird.
All right, Dan.
two wolves just going at it reminds me of Discovery Channel with no one else around. I don't know. It's just
all right. Well,
okay.
So what do you guys think about my theories?
I'll start with Cam, Grookey swinging from the trees. I don't know.
What did you say, Dan? Sorry, I
could be Grookey swinging from the trees that they look up at. Oh, look, a monkey goes by.
I don't know about that.
I doubt that.
I have no clue.
But I do appreciate you knowing the name of a Pokemon and using it in the sentence.
Thank you, and I was accurate. It's the monkey one, right?
It is. Good job.
Excellent.
All right, Cam, what do you think?
I 100% think it's the third legendary, because the third legendary always, so the two legendaries always like there's some sort of conflict and they fight, and the third legendary always has to get in there and like either stop them or like make it worse and fight with them.
Yeah.
I don't know what the third legendary could be, because like
armor.
Because like Solgaleo and Lunala, they both represented light because they were like the sun and the moon, and then like Necrozma was darkness. So, and then Zygarde was just kind of like
weird genetic
he didn't like
freak.
Yeah, but like it was life and Xerneas and Yveltal represented life and death, and then Zygarde was just like made of cells. So like I don't kind of tied to it, but.
I mean, my best guess would just be like a suit of armor, right? Because we have a sword and a shield. What goes with the sword and the shield? Armor.
What do we think the typings are?
Steel, obs. But do you maybe?
There was no indication of typing.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I mean, it could be like fire, water. Because there's a lot of red and blue happening.
So steel, water, fire, water? Or fire, steel?
Yeah. Yeah, actually. And then if you think about like smelting and like blacksmithing, they could be fire, steel. It's also an interesting typing to have.
4 times weak to ground.
Groudon, let's go. Did you have any theories or anything else you wanted to share on that little cutscene that we saw?
I like the cutscene a lot. It threw me back to when they revealed Xerneas and Yveltal, because that was like a not gameplay kind of cutscene where they had like Yveltal swoop in and they had like Xerneas like appear. Nice. So yeah, that was cool.
Dope.
I wonder what they're gonna call this trio, because like also all the trios like have names to them, like the light trio or like the time trio or like the like Lugia and Ho-Oh were like the Latios and Latios were like the Eon duo. Like the legendaries always have like names to like their duos or trios.
The Wolf Pack.
The game pack. All right, final thoughts on legendaries. Anybody want to jump in?
Great. They're great. They're sick. I like them.
They are cool. I'm into it. I am gonna pick Zamazenta because I'm buying Shield. Who are you guys gonna? Dan, you're passing.
Probably, unless you make me play it. Ooh. Don't make me play this.
I like Zacian because I like more like offensive Pokemon. I like statting up and just doing as much damage as possible.
I'm getting Sword because I don't like the Shield one.
Gotcha. All right.
I wouldn't mind trying a Pokemon game. Would this be a good one to enter, do you think? Or is this more for the fans of the series?
I think if you want the full Pokemon experience, this is the game to get. Okay. If you want like a
nice introduction, Let's Go.
Yeah, then Let's Go is probably more your speed. But like if you want everything and you really want to like get a full Pokemon experience, you'd want this one.
Okay.
Cool. All right, now I want to talk about all the different types of mechanics, and I want to talk about the wild area a little bit. So let's talk about that right now. So the first mechanic I want to talk about is Dynamaxing. I don't like the name, but the concept is kind of cool. I do prefer Mega Evolutions and Z moves to it, actually, but just to see something new is fine. And the thing that I like about it is that it's so basic, I guess. All they're really doing is making the Pokemon bigger and stronger, and it's not like, and it only lasts for 3 turns. If you're doing it for your Pokemon, I know if you're doing the max raid battles, that Pokemon stays Dynamax the whole time. And I don't know. I assume that when you're fighting like the gym leader, that it's also 3 turns. Otherwise, that would be super unfair. But
yeah,
I don't think you need more than 3 turns to kill a Pokemon.
If you're Dynamaxed.
Yeah, if you're that's what I'm saying. If you're Dynamaxed. So I think it's okay. I think it's not as cool or unique as the last 2 things that were introduced. And I'm going to throw to Camillo because I'm sure he has lots of thoughts on Dynamax.
I thought it was a cool concept. Like when I was watching the trailer and you could see it in my reaction, I was just like, what is going on? Why are these Pokemon so massive?
But I like the disco balls.
Yeah. I think it's kind of cool because it's actually kind of, well, I guess we'll talk about this when we get to like the max raid battles, but like
sure.
That aspect of like giant Pokemon in Pokemon Go, like it's actually it's like a concept now that we get to have in the main game. So like your Pokemon could be this massive Pokemon that like maybe multiple Pokemon have to attack it to get down, or like another massive Pokemon has to attack it to kill it. I don't know how powerful these moves are going to be because like all of them say like max, like they were like max lightning or like max like tackle, or I don't, but like they're all max stuff. I don't know if those are like, they're all like for like 3 turns you basically have like 3 Z moves to do.
Yeah,
which sounds like super overpowerful.
Yeah.
I don't know, because like let's say like you Dynamaxed, or like you already Dynamaxed and then your opponent Dynamaxed, you don't have any more Dynamax. Are you just gonna get like one shot by like everything if you're just a normal Pokemon?
Probably. They take 3 turns, so it would be, so they could attack 3 times, right?
Yeah.
Or is it 1 turn is a turn in Pokemon like
a turn is everybody gets a chance, and then it's the next turn. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So yeah. So potentially if you've already burned your Dynamax or whatever, someone could Dynamax and then burn through like the rest of your team and
yeah.
win. So you got to strategically Dynamax, guys.
I don't mind the name though. I think you were saying like you didn't like the name, but
why?
Because like Dyna means like force, and maxing is like you're maxing out your power of your Pokemon, and it's like I was like I forget, maybe I was reading this on Reddit or something like that, but
yeah,
people were saying like, oh, before with like Mega Evolutions, the Pokemon was gaining this new form so it could put all this energy it was gaining from like the Mega Stone, but now it's like, oh, it's gaining all this energy from the Dynamaxing that it just gets massive. So it's like so overpowered. Actually lost my train of thought.
Then it becomes big.
yeah, it's just making it big, and that's where like it make it like they wanted to give it a mode where like you're super powerful, but in order to do that you have to get really, really big. I don't mind the name.
That's what you have to do in real life. If you want to be powerful, you just gotta get swole. Get big.
Gotta get thick.
John?
So I was saying before we went live that there's too many things now. Now you have Mega Evolutions, you have Dynamaxing, you have Z moves. Like, can we just either stick with one concept or get rid of other ones?
I think it would get stale if they just said,
my retort to you is if they didn't add new things, you would complain that they didn't add new things.
I don't. It's gonna be weird if you can have a Mega Pokemon on your team, then one that could do a Z move, and then another one that could Dynamax. It just seems overly complicated.
I think that's better, right? Where you say Pokemon games are stupid and easy.
They are. Well, these would actually make them easier.
Well, I thought that it would make it harder if it's more complicated.
Yeah.
And then you're fighting an opponent and you don't know if they have like which Pokemon has what Z move or what. So like it's harder to like anticipate like how
what's going to happen,
play out.
But you're not going to have to deal with that in the main game.
No, you'll beat the main game in like 20 hours or whatever, but
Pokemon's not really about them like the longevity of Pokemon is playing online or like playing past the main story.
Mm-hmm. Completing your Pokedex, running around, playing with friends, trading,
doing these raid battles and stuff. Yeah.
With the randoms online.
We'll see.
They said friends online.
No, they said friends locally and other people online, other trainers online.
I think I watched another trailer and it said friends online in the text below.
All right. So, guys, we will have researched this. And in the chat right now, we are telling you the answer.
Or no, it was on the Pokemon website. It was like, play with your friends.
That might just mean battles.
Do you guys want to move on?
No, it was under Max Raid Battles.
I think we should just move right on to Max Raid Battles. All right, now we're talking about Max Raid Battles. So, guys, a Max Raid Battle is essentially there were these, if you walking around in the overworld, there are these stone formations with pink light coming out the middle. And once you activate them, you and it looked like 3 other players fight a Dynamax Pokemon. And only one of the 4 players can Dynamax their Pokemon to fight this Pokemon and subsequently catch it, I think, after you beat it.
Yeah.
Is that how that worked? So
they weren't really clear, but like in Go Raid Battles, everybody gets a chance to catch it.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
So I thought that was very cool. We were talking about like, well, what's coming over from like Let's Go or Pokemon Go, and like this is something that we've seen in Go or Pokemon Go, like a raid battle, and I really like the raid battles. I just think sometimes it's hard to like coordinate one. If it's like less like if it's like 3 or less, I can usually do it by myself. But like if it's 4 or more, I'm like, oh well, I guess I'm not getting Deoxys today. So it'll be nice to be able to, even if it's not with friends, to be able to group up with randoms in like a efficient way, so that I can get all the Pokemon that I want. The only thing that I want to complain about with the Max Raid Battles is that it was like Doug Trio and Wobbuffet. Like,
okay, I noticed that your reaction was Quagsire. You said Wobbuffet.
Quagsire. Like, but like, who cares?
You don't know if it could be like Go. They could be shiny after you catch them or something.
Maybe.
But is this how you? I wonder if this is how you have to get a Dynamax Pokemon this way.
No, they'll revert after you catch them.
No, I just mean like, how do you get a Pokemon that can Dynamax?
It's an item.
Yeah,
there was a bracelet that they were wearing.
Yeah, but it's like, you could say the same thing about Go. Like, there are raid bosses in Go. They're like, they can't be shiny, and there's like a whatever Pokemon, but like they're still fun to do.
I skip them.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, you get all the cool rewards. You get like the rare candy, and you get the Stardust, and
did they say what else you get if you get anything else?
Yeah, maybe you get rewards.
Yeah, I think you get rewards. That's why, like, whenever I do I will do a raid if it's like 3 or under, and then I'll check if there's like people nearby, if it's like 4 or like a legendary. But I always try and do raids whenever I see them if I can, because you get the rewards.
All right.
TMs too; those are very valuable.
Oh, that's right. Very true. All right. So speaking of the overworld, I'm gonna move right into the wild area, which is something that they announced. And I wanted to point out that it didn't look like the wild area. The wild area is just certain areas of the world. It's not. I think there's going to be routes. There's going to be bridges.
There's routes and towns and.
Yeah, it's not going to be like, oh, there's like a huge open area and you can like find a town and then you leave that town and there's another huge open area.
I think there's needs to be like that though. I don't think it could just be like completely open world, because then
it'd be a little overwhelming.
Yeah.
They totally called it the wild area to go off of Breath of the Wild, though.
I mean, why not? Great game. So and then we saw in the wild area Pokemon.
Yep.
Do you think those Pokemon are catchable? I don't.
Yeah, they are. They're going to be catchable. Not all of them, but some of them.
You walk up to a Tyranitar and just be like, "What up, boy?"
let's go.
Yeah, it's on the website. You say you can. It says you can encounter Pokemon in the overworld and in the grass.
Okay.
So I also think they were hiding Pokemon because it looked really empty. I think
They
were
also said
hiding
like
Pokemon.
the grass. Yeah, like when you're walking around the grass, like you're gonna see like a exclamation point, and then you have to go over to it and get it. So
That's
I don't.
cool.
Yeah.
I'm into that. It harkens back to because they were also doing the sneakies. They were doing the sneakies like in Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, which I'm super excited about. Let's bring DexNav back. Fingers crossed. DexNav. That was the coolest feature in a Pokemon game and it's gone forever. So bikes are back and you can ride the bike on water, which was super cool.
It's actually a tricycle, which was dope.
It was a tricycle? That's funny. Because it had 2 wheels in the front, right? Or was it 2 wheels?
2 wheels in the back.
Oh, so this is legit.
Yeah.
Classic tricycle on water.
How old are you that you don't know how to ride a bike?
I mean,
No,
I
it
think
probably
it's
has to do with the paddle.
water.
You're on the water, yeah.
Oh, the
It's for
water one? I
balance.
didn't.
Yeah.
I thought I had 4. I thought I had 4.
I don't know.
No, I think it was.
I think it was 3. Now
Yeah.
that he mentions it, I think it was 3. And then you have free camera control in these big wild areas, which is cool. I am very excited to explore the wild areas and not just walk up and down routes, like have like a little bit different of like, you know, a different point of view when I'm like exploring or shiny hunting or something. I'm not always looking at like the same patch of grass. I can move the camera and like, you know, change up a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, instead of standing without moving the camera for hours, you could spin the camera around.
You don't have to shiny hunt that way if you don't want to.
It's just
and that's pretty much it
efficient
for the
way.
wild area. Did anybody have anything they wanted to mention for the wild area?
They said based for the raid battles, the Pokemon will change depending on the time and weather. So I think like in the wild area, they'll have different weather and stuff, which is cool.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and they said like because they had like those scenes where like the Tyranitar was walking and it was like a sandstorm,
In like a
or whatever.
desert area.
Yeah, so like we'll have different weather. It'll change what Pokemon will appear, which I liked because they haven't really done that in a while. I mean, they did it for like different times of the day. I think they had it in Sun and Moon, but like for certain games, like they like for some games they had like this Pokemon can only found in the morning and the noon and the night. But certain games it was just like that we took that out. But I'm glad it's back.
Yeah, that'll be really cool for sure. All right, and the last thing that we're going to talk about is a little bit of the story and some of the characters we're going to meet along the way. We'll rattle through those right now. So some of the characters we're going to meet along the way, we met the professor, Professor Magnolia. We get a female professor this time again, which is really cool. I'm really glad that we get to see another female professor. Her thing was that she specializes in studying Dynamaxing, which is cool. Then she has her assistant, Sonia, who is also her granddaughter and a super hot babe.
She's a Pokemon.
Yeah, I hope you might want to check the age on that.
Dude, she's totally... Whatever. I only watched the trailer twice. Then we also have your rival. His name is Hop, and he is the younger brother of Leon. And Leon is the champion of the Pokemon League and also an undefeated Pokemon trainer. And I think that he's got some dark secrets. That's my theory about Leon.
Yeah, he's probably the leader of the gang or whatever.
Yeah. And then we also saw Milo, who is possibly the first gym leader. Yeah.
I think they said.
Yeah, he didn't say they didn't confirm first.
They
but
didn't
he said
confirm
one
first,
of said the
but
one of the gym leaders.
It's most likely the first.
Yeah,
based on his Pokemon
our player had like a groupie or something. So
yeah, and he has Grass type. So what are your guys' thoughts on having a female professor? We're all pro that, right?
Yeah, we haven't had one in like 3 gens.
What was it?
Gen
Sycamore
5
was the last one?
No, Professor. Oh my gosh, why am I blanking?
Is it not Sycamore?
No, that was Gen 6.
Well, we'll look it up later. And yeah, so I think Leon's going to be a bad guy. That's just my thought. Because he's addicted to being undefeated, and I think he probably cheats or something.
Oh man, if they have a cheating champion, that would be awesome.
That'd be super cool. And that pretty much sums it up. Did you guys have anything you wanted to say specifically about each character? I noticed that Milo didn't have a nose, and that was
He
weird.
kind of looked like a Ditto. He looked like a little bit of a Ditto.
He did it, yeah.
No, maybe actually, if you look, I saw in the trailer, like, he turned his head, and then you could see his nose.
Oh, really?
So, like, I think it's just the shading is weird, but, like, when he turns to the side, like, I saw it.
All right, so he's got a teeny tiny nose. I think the name of Hop is kind of dumb, for lack of a better word. John's really increasing my vocabulary.
I want to talk to Leon and Hop's parents and be like, why'd you give Leon such a normal name?
Leon's got like this nice, like, really
strong
name. And then Hop.
Oh, I remember the professor's name. It was Professor Juniper.
GG. Cool. So I'm excited to meet those characters and many more along the way. I want to learn about whatever team or problem we have to solve. It would be cool if there wasn't like a Team Rocket like clone and there was just some other thing that we had to do.
Or you just
like,
living life.
I mean, we haven't had like a straight up Team Rocket. Like they've all like gone after different things. Like Team Rocket was all they just wanted Pokemon to sell them for profit and stuff.
There was Team Skull and
yeah, but they're just like doofuses like that don't know what
they hang
doing.
out in like a rundown.
They're all like Team.
So you're saying we shouldn't have any evil team?
Yes, correct.
No,
that'd be fun. I think that'd be interesting.
We
need an evil team leader to pursue the legendary, and we're trying to protect the legendary from the team leader.
No, let's switch it up.
We
didn't have gyms. I don't know, man. I didn't make this game.
Why does there's?
But I don't see the need to remove them. I don't.
Let's just switch it up. We took the gyms out. I didn't see the need to remove gyms. Why did they remove the gyms? To switch it up?
But like
and the trials were really bad too.
I think it's because you don't have a replacement, so I'm just like, to remove them for no reason makes no sense to me.
I don't know. Maybe there's weird Pokemon. Like Pokemon are like being possessed by the third legendary. And like that's what you have to stop.
But see, I kind of liked that
Pokemon.
They had Team Skull, and like through the trailers and stuff, we thought, oh, it's Team Skull, like that's the team. But it was really like the Aether Foundation was the real evil team.
That's true.
Spoilers.
That game is old.
Dan's gonna play Sun and Moon.
He's not gonna play Sun and Moon. He doesn't even have a 3DS. And the last piece of news is that they gave us a release date, which was exciting. November 15th, just before holiday shopping, Black Friday, just like we predicted in a previous podcast.
It was such a hard prediction to make too, because they've never done that before.
I was like laughed at people that are like, I called it. It's so predictable.
Yeah, it's like
I called their one going to release their game around the Christmas.
Yeah, I called it that they were going to release it.
There was some other exciting news about this though.
What's that?
Pokemon they're going to be eligible for that game voucher deal.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
And they also say Steelbook? I just heard dual pack. I didn't hear Steelbook.
No, Steelbook. There was Steelbook.
And you don't get anything with that though. Like you don't save any money. You just get
you just get them both. You get a Steelbook. You don't like Steelbooks?
I will never buy a Pokemon game digital. It has to be physical.
Say that now.
All right. Well, that wraps up all of our Pokemon news for the Pokemon Direct. That was a lot of information. We do have one more story, and that is about the Stadia Connect. Also releasing in November of this year is Google Stadia, the Google gaming streaming service, where you can get up to 4K gaming from any Chrome-enabled device. If you have Chrome on your iPad, your laptop, your computer. It doesn't work on iPhones, though. They said only the new Pixel phones.
Interesting.
The 3 and the 3A, I think, is what they said.
I mean, that's their direct competitor, so it kind of makes sense.
Yeah. So does that mean that you could open up Chrome on an iPad and play on an iPad?
Probably.
Or a Chromebook. Even a Chromebook.
Yeah, I mean, anything with a screen is really all you need. Because they were saying that device that connects to the internet with all the like information is your controller, right?
Well, I think the controller is just.
Is that only for the Chromecast?
No, that's for everything, but you don't need that controller to
you don't
use Stadia. So I think there's probably going to be like some type of login that you need that just holds everything.
So here is a couple of statistics, some numbers for you guys. We know how much you guys love just numbers and statistics. So the lowest resolution that they will offer is 720p, and that comes at a internet download speed of 10 megabits per second. You can get 1080p if you have 20 megabits per second. And the highest quality, you get 4K HDR, 60 frames a second for only 35 megabits per second download speed, which is not a problem for a lot of people who live in metropolitan areas, but I would imagine 35 megabits per second is not possible for people who live in the outer reaches. And also, there's only a limited number of countries that Stadia is launching in this year. I think.
Yeah, but they're expanding next year.
They will expand, but like this year, I think it was like 16 countries or something like that.
And I think it's important to point out that it's download speeds and not upload.
Not
speeds.
upload. So apparently, your upload speed doesn't matter.
I don't think so. It's usually
shouldn't it though for online play?
I don't know. It's upload's usually slower, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, upload's usually way slower, but I mean, all they have to really upload is the button presses.
Yeah, that's not.
Yeah, that's what I'm worried about with the input lags. Like you have a wireless controller that's on your Wi-Fi, connecting to another device that's probably on your Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
What's the input lag going to be?
Does the controller connect to your Wi-Fi, or does it connect to your device Bluetooth? And
no, I think it's their Wi-Fi.
The Stadia controller connects to the Wi-Fi, but
I will say that I do have an NVIDIA Shield, and I have tried streaming a game through it because it has a game streaming service. I mean, not really a service, but you can find individual games and stream them without like actually downloading them, just play them right on through the internet. And I tried that out. I couldn't notice any input lag per se, but I was playing Tomb Raider. So
the first one,
like the original one?
The reboot.
I think it was the first of the reboot where it was a lot of quick time events, and you're climbing through the cave at the beginning.
I love that game.
So you have to react quickly, and I would press a button and it seemed to react well. When I was walking around, moving left and right, it seemed to be responsive, so I don't think it's going to be too big of a concern with input lag from my experience with that.
I mean,
at least.
I can't imagine they would launch something this huge with lots of lag. I feel like that they have worked out the kinks.
It's Google. It's not like it's some mom and pop shop trying to do this. It's Google. They've
they own the internet.
It's been Q&A for like probably 5-10 years.
Yeah, maybe from a competitive, you might, if you're competitive with like a fast action game, you might notice something. I don't think it's going to be a big deal personally.
Gotcha. So they are, there's two packages, I guess, that they announced. There's Stadia Pro, which is just kind of the standard $9.99 a month subscription, where you get free games and discounts on other games. And Destiny 2 is the first free game. But I just wanted to make a quick note that I did read today that Destiny is going free to play across all platforms.
Is it?
Yes.
Do you have to buy? How are they going to make money?
Microtransactions?
I don't know if that game's really set up for micro. Are you sure that you don't have to buy the DLCs or something?
I don't know.
You have to pay to remove ads.
Yeah. Every time an enemy pops up and ad starts playing, you have to like put in a quarter to make the ad go away before you die.
You have to pay per raid or per strike.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I just had read that it was going free to play.
But on that note, like Destiny 2, I guess Bungie is self-publishing now, and they announced cross-platform play and cross-platform progression, as well as
cross saves, right?
Yeah, cross saves, as well as version parity. So everybody's getting the same content.
Mm-hmm.
And
no more exclusive content.
No more PlayStation exclusive content.
Mm-hmm.
That's exciting. This was good news.
Yeah,
doesn't have anything to do with Google Stadia, but
so I'm a little confused, and maybe you can help clarify this for me. I thought that when you do the $9.99 a month, it was like subscribing to like Game Pass, and everything was free.
Nope.
But there's only some free games, and then you still have to buy games outright.
Yeah. So have you ever seen EA Access or?
Yeah.
So I think it works like that. When they have a library, they have a library of games of a vault. They have a vault, so they have like old Maddens, old FIFAs, old NHLs. But then when a new Madden comes out or a new EA game comes out, you have to pay to buy it, but you get a discounted rate. I forget what it is. Probably like 20% off or so.
But you don't really own it. Like, I'm paying for something that I have to pay to have access to.
No, because
if I stop paying $9.99, what happens?
Well, the free games I'm assuming they work like the games with gold or PlayStation Plus, where you just can't do them anymore. But the ones that you pay outright for, they said those are yours to keep, and you just have access to them. You don't need this $9.99 a month to access Google Stadia. You could just buy games.
Just go buy a game without the okay.
Yeah. It kind of reminds me of like, it's not so much like Netflix where everything is included. It's more like the Amazon streaming service where there are things included with the Amazon Prime, but you can also pay, for things that aren't included.
Stuff.
Right.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, that's a good equivalency. The other thing that they announced is the Founders Edition, which John has already pre-ordered, I think.
I have, yes.
Because if something's for sale, John buys it.
Well,
it costs $100. You can respond in a second. It costs $129. It comes with 3 months of Stadia Pro, so that's $30 right there. It comes with the Google Chrome. It's like the Ultracast, right?
Yeah, it's like the
4K one.
Yeah, the top of the line one.
Yeah, and that costs something.
Probably over 100. It's probably like $100.
And then it also comes with the controller.
Yeah,
and then
which is normally $70.
And it also comes with 3 months to give to a friend.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh.
And then you get well, I guess technically you get Destiny 2 for free.
Okay. And
they said the value is like $300. I'm not sure how they
the value is whatever they say it is.
Yeah. The value is whatever somebody will pay for it.
Yeah, and then you also have priority access, like to get your gamer tag. Of whatever.
That was a weird.
They don't have don't have like a branding for that. They were just like your Google Stadia name.
Yeah,
like,
your name.
Your name. Okay, cool. So John bought it. So obviously you're on board. I want to just expand the conversation out now that we know what it is, we know what it costs. Who's getting this, and does it appeal to us? I'm going to go first. Okay. No, I'm not going to get it right away. I'm going to wait. Maybe. I'll probably change my mind. Because if YouTube shows priority to people who are using Stadia when they're streaming, I might have to change my mind and use their ecosystem to boost my viewership. But really, unless that is a thing, if that's not a thing, I already have an Xbox. I already have a PlayStation. I already have a Switch. I already have a 3DS. I already have every single retro system. I have Xbox Live Gold. I have PlayStation Plus. I have Netflix. I have Adobe. I have
but what's one more
Hulu.
thing?
Dude, one more thing is that's how you just become poor.
Yeah.
I'm not.
There are way too many things already.
There's too many services, and I don't need the service. I have all the games. There was no exclusive game where I was like, what?
Yeah.
I can't
Not yet,
believe.
anyway.
Oh my!
That's every time I buy a console or this is a game service. that happens. Like there's like a game. They're like, I need this console. There's nothing here that is saying I need this.
Not at all. They showed two Tom Clancy games.
I think it's for people who like want to kind of play games and they don't own any consoles and they don't want to invest in like a computer or a expensive game console. They just want to play a few games. I think it's like for that.
Go for it, guys. Get it.
I want to go next. All right,
Dan, go please.
So the thing is if you pay $30 a month, you're going to want to play lots and lots of games to get your money's worth.
$10 a month.
$10 a month. Okay. Oh, I got you. $10 a month. If you're paying monthly, you're going to want to play enough games to make it worth your money, because you're paying, you're having access, you're going to play as many games as you possibly can. My problem is that streaming games is going to take so much bandwidth. I have Xfinity Comcast. I am capped at 1 terabyte per month. Or I start paying extra. For every 10 gigabytes extra, it's another $10, up to $50 limit. Once it reaches $50 extra, it's just, unlimited essentially. But
you don't want to get to that
think
point.
The calculation was streaming
70
at
some hours or something.
Yeah, 4K is like 65 hours, and it's 1 terabyte at 4K. Streaming, that's like a week and a half of my stream schedule.
Yeah.
So basically, if I want to get my money's worth, I would have to pay $50 extra a month. So it ends up not being $10 a month, but $60 a month to access the games in this library. It seems completely outlandish for anyone that has a data cap.
Yep.
If you decide to, like Phil, you said like you may stream with this if it becomes like relevant or something.
Yes.
So that means you will be pulling down like 30, and then you're gonna have to be uploading back like another. I don't know what you stream at, like 10 or 12. Isn't that like a lot?
10 or 12. I stream at 4.5, and that's a little bit much.
I mean, my internet speed is 300 down and like, I don't know, some ridiculous number up. So like I won't have a problem with that.
Yeah, I have 100 up, 100 down.
100 up? I have 5 up, and I have no way to increase that.
It's that fiber optics, man. You got to get Fios.
Yeah, dude.
I think I only have like 30 up.
There's one company that does Fios, and it's absolutely garbage.
Oh, man. All right.
In my area.
Final thoughts on Stadia Connect?
Do I get to go?
I don't think
I even went.
Yeah, Cam didn't get to go either.
I was trying to rush through it because we're out of time. Go ahead, Cam.
I am like not interested. I don't think I'll ever buy it. It's dumb. I don't think it'll take off. I think it'll kind of flop. I don't think we're like, I think it's the future, like eventually, but
sure.
I don't think that people have the internet speeds for this to be successful enough. So also, people just buy your games and actually own it. Don't buy into this crap.
Yep.
But you do buy your game and you do own it. Like
you don't own it.
What if Google Stadia just every week? We have this conversation every week. Don't have it again.
If you,
like 15 years from now, if Google Stadia goes out of business, then
you don't own the game anymore.
Why do I care? 50 years later, playing.
No. If this service launches, and let's say a year in, I don't know, something.
It's Google. They're not going to shut down a year in.
The service, I mean, Google's not going to shut down, but like
Google Plus doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah,
that was a Google product.
They'll move it over. World you just couldn't play anymore.
They'll move it over to Steam or something. They're not just gonna. I don't know. You're living in some like post-apocalyptic world where Google shuts down and.
All right, John, you're living in the present. So, what are your final thoughts?
All right, so
we got to wrap up.
This is how do you consume your media now? Like we got Netflix streaming, music streaming. Like it's definitely. But there's an audience for it.
Those are not interactive medias.
Netflix is. It is now.
You just watch it. You don't play it.
But
interactive media is like you're playing a game.
I don't know. Digital is the future for sure. And the way we consume media now is all streaming. Like, most people don't have cable because they just stream.
I'm not
Hulu
disagreeing with you. I think that's the future. I don't think we're there yet, though.
Yeah, I can appreciate that digital is the future, but paying individually for so many different services it's garbage and it needs to stop.
I mean, you don't have to get them all, like me. Like, you can pick and choose. It's not like somebody's holding a gun to your head saying, you got to pay for all these.
All right.
Right.
And on that note, let's move on to what we've been playing. So, I guess I'll go first. I have been playing Diablo 3 on PC because there was a conversation that was had between John and myself as to what version was superior, and I wanted to play Diablo 3. I had that kind of itch that I wanted to scratch. I also wanted to play a co-op game. I love playing co-op games with my brother. I've said that 1,000 times on the podcast. It's like my favorite thing to do. So I played some Diablo 3. I've also been reading a lot of comic books because I got a new iPad. And the last time I had an iPad, I downloaded 1 billion comic books. So speaking of services, I signed up for the Marvel Unlimited service so that I could have access to 25,000 comic books. But
you don't really own them. I don't know, man.
I don't own them.
Because you read them and then you don't read them again.
Yeah, I don't think I would reread them. But yeah, that's what I've been doing. I've been playing Diablo recently, and I played Mario Tennis a ton while I was traveling, and I've been reading a lot of comic books. What have you been up to, Cam?
Nothing really new. I've been playing. I just beat Kingdom Hearts 3 on critical mode, so that was very satisfying.
Oh, GG.
Yeah. Been playing some Pokemon, shiny hunting. I've been playing the Pokemon Go event. I haven't gotten any shinies yet, but today I did get 100% Anorith, and I got 100% Cranidos, which is really cool.
Oh, GG.
Yeah,
very cool. Dan, what have you been playing / doing?
I've been playing a lot of Super Mario Odyssey. I specifically sat down to learn some of the advanced tricks for speedrunning and tried really hard to incorporate those into my runs, and I got a new personal best of 1 hour, 10 minutes, 48 seconds, so I'm sub 111 now, so that's really exciting.
That's great, man.
Yeah, and I've been enjoying these. I found these 3D jigsaw puzzles that are like crystal jigsaw puzzles. They've been really cool. I've been really enjoying putting those together in my spare time.
Very cool. See, guys, we don't just play games. We do other stuff. How about you, John? What have you been up to besides hanging out with me and Philly?
Oh, yeah. Me and Phil met up.
We did.
Last weekend. We went to a bar. We had a good time.
Uh-huh.
He made me go into the city on like the day before work.
Yep, I made him. I made him.
No, it was a good time. I had a lot of fun.
It was a good time.
We should all do that again.
I think we will.
Indeed.
But what have you been playing and doing besides that, John?
So I've been playing Doom again.
Oh,
on Switch.
Okay.
It is so fun. Like, that game's so good.
It's a great game.
If you haven't played that game, I don't know what you're doing. Yeah, I'm getting ready for Doom Eternal.
I know. So exciting.
Which is coming to Stadia.
They also have a giant Doom Eternal, like 3 stacked, like it's on a big side of the building
banners
in LA. Yeah, like for E3. It's insane. You guys should check it out. Google it.
Then I played some real life softball today.
Nice.
Yeah, we won.
Hey, congratulations.
12-2. So.
Are any of those yours? 12-2. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, we mercy rolled them.
Wow.
We're defending champions, so you know.
Nice.
Kind of a big deal.
I used to play kickball with like a company rec league, and
it's through the company. It's a good time.
Dominate because most people are just totally out of shape. Anyways, that's it, guys, for the 5th episode of the PackCast. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to hit all the buttons, like, share, comment after the video, subscribe. Guys, please tell your friends. We're trying to grow this new channel, and we're going to have some new content on it very soon, besides these podcasts. And don't forget to check out our individual channels and all of our social medias. The links to those are in the description. Thank you guys very much for watching, and thank you, Cam, Dan, and John, for hosting along with me every week. You guys are the best. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.